4 o'clock. I'm Kirsten Joyce.
Good afternoon. I'm Brian Loftus. Officials say the girl was discovered unresponsive by her father inside the vehicle on H Street near Owens, but would not break the window to get her out. 8 News Now reporter Kate Houston is live from the Clark County Detention Center, where the girl's father is now in jail in connection with her death.
Yes, 27-year-old Sydney Deal is being held here on charges of child abuse and neglect with substantial bodily harm. Now, I just spoke to Saya's mother, who says she doesn't wish any ill will towards Deal, but she does want some answers here. Now, Mariah Coleman says that she is numb, hurt, and disappointed. Coleman tells me Deal did not have full custody of their daughter, contrary to what Deal's family said yesterday. Coleman says she saw Saya just hours before she got the phone call that she had died. Now she's waiting on Deal to contact her with an explanation. She says she has nothing bad to say to him, but wants to know why he didn't break the car windows to get their daughter to safety.
My baby just wanted love. Love. She didn't hurt nobody. She just wanted love. And if Sydney watching this, all she wanted was for you to be her father and love her, and you couldn't even do that. Everybody just pray for our family, pray for my community, because this is hitting all of us as a whole.
Last night, Coleman gathered with family and friends to mourn the loss of her daughter. They lit candles, placed flowers, and released balloons. Now, tonight, Coleman and Sydney Deal's family will come together to hold another vigil in honor of the young life that was lost. Now, we are waiting for a report from the coroner's office on a cause of death for Saya. Now, at this time, Sydney did not show in court yesterday due to a medical refusal. We reached out to Metro. They say they cannot provide any information on that because of privacy laws. Deal is expected back in court tomorrow. Reporting live from the Clark County Detention Center, Kate Houston, 8 News Now.
Hey, this is Nicole, and welcome back. And thanks for subscribing to me. If you already subscribed, if you haven't, please subscribe now. Now, I wanted to get into the baby that died. Her dad, the news is reporting that her dad, he did not want to bust his windows out because he did not want to pay for another window or whatever. So now people are running with this. Now, after after I have been digging, because you guys, that's what I do. I investigate. Okay, so I have been digging into some things. Now, the neighbors, the guy, he was at his girlfriend's house. He went back inside. He got into the car with his daughter. He got out the car only because he left something inside the house that he had to go get out of his girlfriend's house. When he came back, he realized he left the keys inside the car. And it went from there. It went from him seeing the police officer to him flagging the police officers down. They came over, and the police officer, they said they could not bust the window out until he had verification from his, I guess the chief or whatever, his supervisor, that the car actually belonged to the man, and the man had permission for the police officers to bust his window out. So this is how that went, you guys. I want everyone to stop running with the narrative that he did not want to bust his window out, to save his own daughter. It would be easy to believe something that crazy, people love believing in negative shit and crazy shit, that's crazy. Okay, so after that, the police sat there and they waited. Now, you guys, it is reported that the police officers was there 45 minutes to an hour with the man Stacy. They were all there with Stacy waiting for permission for the police officers to bust the window out. And that is how that went. Now, you have some of his neighbors that actually spoke out, and they spoke out and they said what they seen themselves. Now, it's crazy because even with the police officers there, I don't even think they was really focused on the little girl inside the car, because if you look at the video that I'm going to show you guys, the police officer was worried about the car that was next door to his car. He was like, who car this is, and who where he at, like The police officer wasn't even worried about the little girl inside the car. He up here trying to figure out who the car next to the car is. You know, he trying to figure out who the other car belongs to. And you know, he worried about what's outside these folks' cars and shit. This is crazy. But it's believable because we all know the police officer. At this point right now, I believe they're trying to cover their ass, you know what I'm saying? Because it's too much going on. So yeah, it would be easy for them to lock the man up, charge him for murder, and say it's all his fault. When in reality, the police officer did not want to bust the window out because they had to get permission to bust the window out, and they had to make sure that it was that man's car before they even bust the window out because they did not want to be held liable. You guys, Jesus. They did not want to be held liable, for damages. And they wouldn't even allow him to bust that window out. So can we please just chill out? Can we please chill out? Let's get all the information before we just start saying that it's his fault. Even though, I'm going to tell you something. He does play a big part in this. Let me tell you, Mr. Stacy plays a whole big part of this. Because let me tell you what he should have done. Instead of flagging the police officer down, because we all know that they do not care about no black people at all anyway. Because if he really cared, he would have busted the damn window out himself. That police officer would have busted the window out himself. And the man, ain't no way in hell he went to go flag a police officer down when you could have just busted that damn window out yourself. Now fuck that shit. We gonna get a police officer to save us. When did we become wrapped up and so involved like we gotta call the police officer? Come on, man. We got a police officer that don't even want to do the right thing by Breonna Taylor. And you really think that they gonna bust that window out to save your daughter when you could have just bust the window out to save her? Come on, you guys. We ain't even trying to use no common sense. And everybody keeps saying, what can we do to do this, that, and the third? Common sense is free. You're born with common sense. He should have busted the damn window out himself before he went to go talk to before he went to go flag the police officer down. And then the police officer don't make it no better because he's sitting there talking about he got to get permission so he won't be held accountable. And he got to make sure that the car belongs to the man, and he got permission to do this, that, and the third. Man, get the fuck out of here. Let me tell you something, because one thing I do know is police officers in their trunk, they have their little slim bar where they can just pop the lock anyway. Now, I do believe this part. I'm going to tell you why I believe this, because I remember a couple years back, and I stay in Atlanta for the record. I remember a couple years back, I locked my keys inside of my car, and I called a police officer because I didn't want to pay a locksmith. I did not want to pay them, you guys. So the police officer came and he said he couldn't even unlock my door, bro. He was just like, I can't lock. He said, I cannot unlock your door, ma'am. You got to call a locksmith, and he was saying all kind of craziness, and I was so fucking pissed off because he really wanted me to pay $50 rather than him just getting the damn slam and unlocking the fucking car door for me, so I do believe the neighbors. But, either way it goes, I want you guys to give me your opinion and what you think. And you can go ahead and look at the videos and tell me what you think, please. And your comments does matter. So please please feel free to comment. Thanks.
Nervous. He flagged the officer down, telling him that the baby was in the car. And they said that they couldn't break the window because they had to get permission from the sergeant. They had to make sure it was his car and stuff like that. But they sat out here for 2 hours just walking around looking inside the car. Probably about an hour and a half after them being out there, they looked inside, and I guess the baby wasn't moving. So the officer just broke the window, and then they unlocked the door. And Sydney took out the baby. Sydney was starting to tear up and stuff. He was very frantic.
I would honestly believe it was a tragic accident. He was in the midst of bleeding, and he forgot that the alarm pad or the device thing to the push start wasn't in his pocket, so probably locked. And I've seen him since I moved in, and I can genuinely say since that baby was small, he's loved on her. Never seen a bad time when he had that little girl in his possession. And then the 3 different stories about her being neglected, abused, and it's like, no, it's not that. From what I heard from when my mom called me on Facebook, the Messenger Live, and I seen, like, he was walking back and forth waiting for them to break open the window. He even tried, they told him no. They kept looking inside of his car and said she's okay. And then my mom told me they kept looking inside of my car too, asking who car does that belong to. That car has nothing to do with what's going on right here. This is the father. He told you, like, hey, it wasn't a call or nothing. He saw you guys roll back. He flagged you down. I'm in need. I'm desperate right now. I need help getting my child out. It's hot right now. So it happened later on in the day yesterday. So it was a couple degrees hotter than it is now inside of a black car with black tint, with black leather. So it's very, very hot inside of that car. Why do you guys have to wait? And he was just screaming at her like, sigh, baby, breathe, sigh, breathe, baby. That's an accident. Like I begged you guys to get my child out of this car. And then you guys still have the audacity after I begged you and flagged you down, asked for help to get my child out of this car. You guys still have the audacity to take me to a police station. If they would have actually just got the baby out the car alive first and didn't do whatever they did with him now. It's like we can accept that. Yet the fact of the accident, yeah, but still that accident could have stopped. He said they were out there for 2 hours before they got the little girl. We could have been off the ring on 215 that child would have been out that car the moment he flagged them down. But literally the area that we're in now is all type of different stories that she was neglected, abused, all these different allegations that we're hearing besides what genuinely happened. Like father flagged them down, genuinely scared, looking for help. And in the instant, it turned to 2 hours later, he's having to mourn over his daughter.
And then came got close and from me one of the guys in the house. I tried to get in the car, but I never knew there was a baby in the car at all. And it's been about an hour and 45 minutes. He finally busted the window, and the car was running. At first, he never baby in the car. The car was running, and the car cut off, and the air cut off. He said the baby had locked the doors, and he couldn't get in when he came out the house. And the police out there trying to help him for almost 2 hours. And then they finally, the baby passed out probably, and they finally busted the window out and got the baby out and laid it on the porch. And he tried to CPR. No help. It took the paramedics 15 minutes to come over here after they got the baby out. I figured they should have had the private people over here. If they know it's a baby, the police should have busted one out at first when the boy flagged them down and told them it was a baby in the car.
All right, now I'm still